Mutuku. Let us continue. Go consecrate the people, tell them consecrate yourselves in preparation for tomorrow, for this is what the Lord, the God of says, there are devoted things among you, Israel. You cannot stand against your enemies until you remove them. In the morning, present yourselves tribe by tribe. The tribe that the Lord chooses shall come forward clan by clan. The clan that the Lord chooses shall come forward family by family. And the Lord chooses shall come forward man by man. Whoever is caught in the devoted things shall be destroyed by fire, along with all that belongs to him. He has violated the covenant of the Lord and has done an outrageous thing in Israel. Early the next morning, Joshua, if you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Tell me where you are watching me. Be very happy if you join this channel. We are reading the book of Joshua, and I'll be very happy if you join this channel. Oh my goodness. Any questions up to there? I'm very happy, they say that this generation, we don't want to read. We want, they have given us names. They said that we are the Weetabix generation or stuff like that. But that is not true. That is not true. That is not true. Whoever has delusions or illusions in their minds, kindly, delete those things. All right. Yes, we are a hard-working generation, and we love the due process. Okay. Oh, any question up to there? In the morning, present yourself tribe by tribe. The tribe that the Lord chooses shall come forward clan by clan. The clan that the Lord chooses shall come forward family by family, and the family that the Lord chooses shall come forward man by man. Whoever is caught with the devoted things shall be destroyed by fire, along with all that belongs to him. He has violated the covenant of the Lord and has done an outrageous thing in Israel. Early the next morning, Joshua made Israel come forward by tribes, and Judah was chosen. The clans of Judah came forward, and the Zerahites were chosen. He made the clan of the Zerahite come forward by families. If you're new to this channel, subscribe. And Zimri was chosen. Joshua made the family come forward man by man, and Achan, the son of Kamri, the son of Zimri, the son of Zerah, and the tribe of Judah was chosen. So it was called casting of lots. We can see it in Joshua 7. All right, we'll be reading and trying to understand the scripture chapter by chapter, word for word. I don't want us to skip the process. Yeah, it's very interesting to read, and I want us to just pay the price, all right? But I can assure you, by the time we're finished reading the scripture, it will be something legit, all right? Do not be saying, oh, they skipped the process, there's something that they never did. No, I want us to just give them no excuses. I don't want us to give them any excuses. I want it to be a clean sweep. Any questions up to there? We are not giving them any chances. We're not giving them any excuses. I want it to be a clean sweep. Any questions up to there? I want it to be a clean sweep. If we are winning, I told you it's gonna be a clean sweep. All right, we're not going to give them any chance whatsoever. Any questions up to there? So I want us to pay full price so that when we win, it will be All right, I want it to be undisputed. I don't want it to be disputed. No, I want it to be undisputed. So then Joshua said to Achan, my son, give glory to the Lord, the God of Israel, and honor him. Tell me what you have done, and do not hide it from me. Achan replied, it is true, I have sinned against the Lord, the God of Israel. This is what I have done. When I saw in the plunder a beautiful robe from Babylonia, 200 shekels of silver, and a bar of gold weighing 50 shekels, I coveted them and took them. They are hidden in the ground inside my tent with the silver underneath. So Joshua sent messengers, and they ran to the tent, and there it was hidden in his tent with the silver underneath. They took the things from the tent, brought them to Joshua and all the Israelites, and spread them out before the Lord. Then Joshua, together with all the Israel, took Achan the son of Zerah, the silver, the robe, the gold bar, his sons, his daughters, his cattle, his donkeys and sheep, his tent, and all that he had to the valley of Achor. Joshua said, why have you brought this trouble on us? The Lord will bring trouble on you today. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Then all Israel stoned him, and after they had stoned the rest, they burned them. Over Achan they heaped up a large pile of rocks, which remains to this day. Then the Lord turned from his fierce anger. Therefore that place has been called the Valley of Achor ever since. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, remember that in January we'll be overstretching ourselves. That is a strategy that I want us to use this January. I want us to overstretch ourselves so that we can set the tone for the year. Any questions up to there? I want us to stretch ourselves January so that by February it will be to be easy for us, because we'll have covered majority of the things. That's why I always tell people this. There's something called first mover advantage. All right, you'll always gain an advantage when you're the first to do stuff. It's called the first mover advantage. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. We're not moving, we're not going anywhere until we finish reading. We'll be stretching ourselves. We'll be stretching ourselves, and we'll be learning. And any questions up to there? Any questions? Yeah. Any questions up to there? Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Tell me where you're watching me from. I want us to resist the urge of skipping the process. I want us to resist that urge and try to learn, learn from the process. Are we together? All right, let's skip the urge to run away. There's that urge, you want to run. There's that urge, you want to run. You want to skip the process and run. But I want us to resist that urge. I want want us to resist that urge and, learn every day. I'm sure by the time we'll be, fit and we'll be able to, be able to do stuff. Any questions up to there? Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe. We're in Joshua 8. Then the Lord said to Joshua, do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. Take the whole army with you and go up and attack Ai. For I have delivered into your hands the king of Ai, his people, his city, and his land. Shall do to Ai and his king as you did to Jericho and his king, except that you may carry off their plunder and livestock for yourselves. If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Wow. Oh my goodness. If you're new to this channel, subscribe. During my free time, I want us to read. Any questions up to there? So Joshua and the whole army moved out to attack Ai. He chose 30,000 of his best fighting men and sent them out at night with his orders. Listen carefully. You're to set an ambush behind the city. Don't go very far from it. All of you are to be alert. I and all those with me will advance to the city, and when the men come out against us, as they did before, we'll flee from them. They will pursue us until we have lured them away from the city, for they will say they're running away from us as they did before. So when you flee from them, you are to rise up and ambush and take the city. The Lord your God will give it into your hand. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Any questions up to there? Let's continue reading, and I know that at the end of our read, we'll continue and we'll be back. Any questions? Where were we? Let us continue reading. I said I want us to read the scripture. If possible, I want us to read and not just cram. I don't want us to cram. I want us to read and understand the scripture deeper, not just the shallow daily devotion. I want us to read and read and read and read until it becomes part of us. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Tell me where you're watching me from. Then Joshua sent them off, and they went to the place of ambush and lay in wait between Bethel and Ai, to the west of Ai. But Joshua spent that night with the people. All right. If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. I want us to have a level of discipline, because I think majority, we don't achieve what we want because we lack, maybe discipline. Maybe we were told to do stuff, but we started compromising. We started compromising, just a compromise. One compromise, then tomorrow another compromise, and then little by little, those small steps of compromise. That is the reason why we don't achieve the things that we set our minds to achieve. All right. So I know when I came up with this idea of reading the scripture, I said, you know what? Let me just put the pressure on myself, and we're here today. Early the next morning, Joshua mustered his army, and he and the leaders of Israel marched before them to Ai. The entire force that was with them marched up and approached the city and arrived in front of it. They set up camp north of Ai, with the valley between them and the city. Joshua had taken about 5,000 men and set them in ambush between Bethel and Ai, to the west of the city. So the soldiers took up their positions, with the main camp to the north of the city and the ambush to the west of it. The night Joshua went into the valley. When the king of Ai saw this, he and all the men of the city hurried out early in the morning to meet Israel in battle at a certain place overlooking the Arabah. But he did not know that an ambush had been set against him behind the city. Joshua and all the Israel let themselves be driven back before them, and they fled towards the wilderness. All the men of Ai were called to pursue them, and they pursued Joshua and were lured away from the city. Not a man remained in Ai or Bethel who did not go after Israel. They left the city open and went in pursuit of Israel. They were so anxious. Let us read to find out what happened. Then the Lord said to Joshua, "Hold out against Ai the javelin that is in your hand, for into your hand I will deliver the city." So Joshua held out towards the city the javelin that was in his hand. As soon as he did this, the men in the ambush rose quickly from their position and rushed forward. They entered the city and captured it and quickly set it on fire. If you're new to this channel, subscribe, comment, tell me where you're watching me from. The men of Ai looked back and saw the smoke of the city rising up into the sky, but they had no chance to escape in any direction. The Israelites, who had been fleeing forward towards the wilderness, had turned back against the pursuers. And when Joshua and all Israel saw the ambush had taken the city and the smoke was going up into the city, they turned round and attacked the men of Ai. Any questions up to there? I remember I saw another fight. Who was it? It was, let me give you a very funny story. I remember in boxing, I saw another fight of a man called, Frank Bruno. Was a fight from the UK. Bruno and Lennox Lewis. And the funny thing is, in that fight, Lennox Lewis never threw many punches. In fact, it seemed as if Bruno was winning. But around the around the seventh round, that is when things started shaping, and people get punched hard in the 7th, 8th, 9th round, and Lennox Lewis, is a very good boxer. I've been watching his fights. He's a wonderful, he doesn't waste his punches. He's not a wasteful puncher, There are boxers who are wasteful in nature, such that they're not effective. But I remember Frank Bruno thought he was winning, but he was throwing so many punches, and he was not scoring. So that is one thing. You can throw so many punches, but you're not effective. So he was tired by the time the 7th round was there. And that is when, since he knew he was tired, that is when now the avalanche came, and the rest is history. Any questions up to there? Those in the ambush also came out of the city against them, so that they were caught in the middle with the Israelites on both sides. Israel cut them down, leaving them neither survivors nor fugitives. Wow, but they took the king of Ai alive and brought him to Joshua. When Israel had finished killing all the men of Ai in the fields and in the wilderness where they had chased them, and when every one of them had been put to the sword, all the Israelites turned to Ai and killed those who were in it. 12,000 men and women fell that day. All the people of Ai. 12,000 people. So you remember the book of Joshua, the beauty of the book of Joshua, there was no D-Day. I want you to, understand that in the book of Joshua, it was one fight after the other. For Joshua did not draw back the hand that held out his javelin until he had destroyed all who lived in Ai. But Israel did not carry off themselves the livestock. But Israel did carry off for themselves the livestock and plunder of the city, as the Lord had instructed Joshua. So Joshua burned Ai and made it a permanent heap of ruins, a desolate place to this day. So the word "to this day" is very, very prevalent in the book of Joshua. It was Joshua who did stuff that remained to this day. Are we together? He did stuff to this day. The word "to this day" is only found in the book of Joshua, because where he went, there was a beacon. He left a mark, a permanent mark, a desolate place to this day. Any questions up to there? He impaled the body of the king of Ai on a pole and left it there until evening. At sunset, he ordered them to take the body from the pole and throw it down at the entrance of the city gate, and they raised a large pile of rocks over it, which remains to this day. To this day. The covenant renewal at Mount Ebal. Then Joshua built on Mount Ebal an altar of the God of Israel, as Moses, the servant of the Lord, had commanded the Israelites. He built it according to what is written in the book of the law of Moses. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Tell me where you are watching me from. An altar of uncut stones on which no iron tool had been used. On it they offered to the Lord burnt offerings and sacrificed fellowship offerings. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Tell me where you are watching me from.